Hello and welcome to The Print. I'm TCA Sharad Raghavan, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about how India's manufacturing sector has been a major laggard in terms of job creation, both in the formal and informal space. The data shows that economic shocks such as demonetisation, the rollout of GST, and the COVID-19 pandemic particularly took a significant toll on the informal sector. But even in the formal manufacturing sector, only about 86 lakh jobs were added between 2015-16 and 2022-23, the latest period for which the data exists. This works out to just about 7% of the total job additions during this period, and about 10 lakh jobs a year on average. Notably, the value added per worker has also remained stagnant throughout this period. This means that not only is the manufacturing sector adding very few jobs, those jobs are not adding to the sector's productivity. Also significantly, during this period, the informal manufacturing sector saw about 54 lakh jobs actually being lost due to the cumulative impact of demonetisation, GST, and COVID-19. The formal sector data has been analysed by ThePrint from the CLEMS database maintained by the RBI, the latest edition of which was released on Monday. The informal sector analysis has been conducted by India Ratings and Research, or INRA, from the annual survey of unincorporated sector enterprises for 2022-23, which was released by the Ministry of Statistics last week. So both are based on government data, and both databases have sectoral data up to only 2022-23. INRA estimates that the cumulative impact of macroeconomic shocks over the past few years on the informal enterprises across sectors has been 4.3% of FY23's GDP. The sector was severely impacted by macroeconomic shocks such as demonetisation, implementation of GST, and COVID-19, it particularly said. The RBI's CLEMS database, which ThePrint analysed, comprises 27 key sectors across the economy and uses government data from various sources. It shows that the economy added 12.5 crore jobs between 2015-16 and 2022-23. Of these, just about 86 lakh or 6.9% came from the manufacturing sector. In comparison, the services sector added 4.9 crore jobs during this period. So that's 86 lakh jobs in manufacturing and 4.9 crore jobs in services. This database, while incorporating some data from the informal sector, largely focuses on the formal sector. Notably, INRA's analysis found that the number of workers employed in the non-agricultural informal sector stood at nearly 10.96 crore in 2022-23, which is lower than the 11.1 crore employed in the pre-shock period of 2015-16. This, it said, is primarily due to job losses in the manufacturing sector. The number of workers in the manufacturing sector at 3.6 crore in 2022-23 was 54 lakh lower than in 2015-16. The two databases paint a dire picture of employment levels in the manufacturing sector. But there's more bad news. The data further shows that labor productivity in the sector was around the same in 2022-23 as it was in 2015-16, meaning that the sector has seen no productivity gains from the people that it employs. The RBI's CLEMS database shows that the gross value added per worker, which is a measure of labor productivity, in the manufacturing sector stood at 3.96 lakh per year in 2022-23, which is just marginally higher than the 3.49 lakh in 2015-16. Experts ThePrint spoke to said that this was because we had not adopted any advanced technologies in the pre-COVID period, and so labor productivity was low. They added, however, that things seem to have improved post-pandemic. The problem, they further said, is also one of volume, since India is far from matching countries like China in terms of the output of each unit. We're not able to generate the kind of volumes that China can, and they can create economies of scale and become more robust in the global economy through this. The cost of doing business becomes a challenge in India because of low volumes, the analyst said. The INRA analysis also looked at the overall informal sector, including trade and other services, and not just manufacturing. What it found was that the devastating impact of the several shocks between 2015-16 and 22-23 was not limited to just manufacturing. On the enterprises in the informal sector, the analysis found that the number stood at 6.5 crore in 22-23, which is just 20 lakh more than in 2015-16. In contrast, there was an addition of 57 lakh unincorporated enterprises between 2010-11 and 2015-16. Indra said that had the macro shocks not taken place during the post-2015-16 period, and the growth in the informal sector enterprises followed the pattern that it had seen in 2010-11 to 2015-16, the total number of such enterprises would have reached 7.1 crore in 2022-23, which means that because of these shocks, there's a loss of 63 lakh establishments. It added that 1.6 crore jobs were lost overall in the informal sector due to demonetisation, GST, and COVID-19. Finally, it said that all of this translated to a cumulative economic loss to the tune of 11.5 lakh crore rupees, which is 4.3% of the FY23 GDP. So, while the government is focusing on boosting manufacturing, the data so far shows that the jobs created by this push have been few, and the few people that are getting manufacturing jobs are not being able to increase the value that they're adding to the sector. But on that note, that's all from me. Thank you for watching.